All right, we're recording. We'll go ahead and get started here in about another minute or so. So if you're here already, thank you for being on time, and you're rolling here. All right, so thanks everybody for coming to this third installment in Kundalini Yoga for Intuition and Prosperity, broadcast from the Temple of the Cold Splendor, an integral health and wellness center here in Portland, Oregon, where we share various mind, body, spirit methodologies like yoga, qigong, martial arts to help empower people and make their lives better. My name is Mark Chacoyan, and today we're going to be going through a set of exercises associated with what's called the instinctual self. And, you know, the theme of this course is on prosperity and intuition. And the reason we're working with the instinctual self is because a lot of times, you know, and I was mentioning this previous class, we have a lot of vision, we have ideas up in our higher sort of centers, our higher chakras, but we have a real hard time manifesting our dreams. We don't seem to have the power, the oomph, the inner mobility or the dynamism to bring our ideas down to the ground and make them real. And so in Kundalini Yoga, we talk about sort of what we call the lower triangle, the first, second, and third chakra, which is really, you know, where your power is. You know, the first chakra is the root. It's your connection to the groundedness of the earth, material reality. The second chakra is your creativity, your sexuality, connection to other people. And the third chakra is really your willpower, your sense of ego identity. These are good things, and they're good when they're brought into balance with everything else. If they're just looked at as the sole focus of your identity, they can become problematic. But we really want to access this lower triangle. We want to try to bring it into alignment with the rest of our whole person. So the animal nature, the sort of primal nature, this is very important. You know, if you ever look at tantric paintings, you know, you'll have long-haired wild Shiva, you know, with matted locks, and he looks ferocious. Some of the paintings you'll see in India of the various gods are very feral. So, you know, within the Tantra tradition, the notion of accessing the wild, primal, creative passion and the feral qualities of our consciousness is very integral to the path. Key is just bringing that into alignment with everything else and bringing it ultimately into alignment with your dharma, which is your purpose. You know, and we think, you know, here in the modern West, we do a lot to kind of dumb down these instincts. You know, we cover up our smells and we don't acknowledge death. And, you know, we're constantly trying to trim and shape and cut our bodies into different forms because the wild, raw nature of who we are is terrifying in some ways to modern civilization. That's why you find classically many of the tantric masters, they're off on the edges of society. They're in the periphery of things because they're accessing that wild, creative, primal power. You know, Shiva dwells up in the mountains, you know, far above the, you know, the concerns of duality, and in many ways is wild. I mean, Shiva as the wild self is very much an ideal that you'll find in the tantric tradition. So we really want to access that instinctual self, you know, and it also kind of ties into this notion as it relates to prosperity and intuition. And it also ties in the notion we have different kinds of brains. You know, we have like a gut brain. People talk about, I've got a gut instinct or gut intuition. You got sort of the feelings from your heart. Then obviously you have sort of, you know, higher forms of intuition. So there's different types of intuition, and that kind of primal gut feeling, that's, you know, when something doesn't sit right, your gut doesn't feel right, that's your lower triangle speaking, and that has its own wisdom. And so we're going to be accessing that form of intuition tonight to sort of expand it and enhance it. So we're, you know, we're acting from a place of sort of raw knowing. So yeah, also I think another point I want to bring out is that, you know, the wild self is the creative self. You know, when you cut off the connection to your wild primal power, you lose inspiration, you lose motivation, you know, that people can fall into depression. So, you know, deep accessing these forces is really the key to vitality and to impact and efficacy. The more that you are tapped into your wild, raw, primal self, the more oomph you have in terms of expressing your potency in the world. And there's a word for it in it's called Shakti. Shakti which is, sometimes called creative power or primal creative power. That's the force of your personality. It's the fire that lets the sun express its rays. It's the energy behind the formation of galaxies. It's energy of everything, really. So Shakti, which means primal raw creative power, sometimes associated with the feminine, is very important in the tantric practices like Kundalini yoga. And Kundalini yoga is a tantric practice because we're working with all of these energies to uplift them and elevate them. And there is no profane energy. It's just how you bring it into alignment with the whole and how you purify and refine it. So that, I think, is all of the upfront lecture I want to go into in terms of what we're trying to do tonight. We're accessing that raw, primal, instinctual, creative self, that wild self, and we're using that to access that gut level intuition, which in turn gives us the power and the oomph to make choices and actions in life that help us be prosperous and effective. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. So we always start class by rubbing the hands briskly, bringing the knuckles into the center of the chest, sit up straight, inhale, exhale, and inhale, and exhale. And we're going to tune in with the mantra, Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo means I call upon the infinite wisdom beyond myself, and Guru Dev Namo means I call upon the infinite wisdom within myself. We'll do it 3 times. Inhale. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. And inhale and exhale. And just begin to rotate on your spine, what are called Sufi grinds. Inhaling forward, exhaling back, warming up that spine, relaxing the mind, letting the day drop away, entering into the class. And inhale center, exhale, and the other way, warming up the spine, rotating nice and easy, relaxing the mind. And inhale center, and exhale. Okay, we're gonna explain 2 breaths really quick. So we usually do what's called long, deep breathing. So when you inhale, you imagine your belly expanding like a balloon from the spine. And as you exhale, release that balloon contracts. And inhale, and exhale. That's your relaxing breath. Then we do an energizing breath, which is called breath of fire. So same motion, but the balloon collapses rapidly towards the spine in a quick sniff like this. Inhale, exhale. So that's like the accelerator or brakes of the nervous system. And the final thing we're going to do is oftentimes I'll say pull up on the root lock. So you'll inhale. Root lock is rectum, navel, sex organ, squeezing all the energy at the lower base of the spine and pulling it up. And you exhale, release that lock. So we'll often do that during class. If you're on your moon, please don't do breath of fire or inverted poses. Just work with long, deep breathing. So that's about it. Last little note is, I'm not there to monitor you. So anything you do, try to, touch your own edges and don't hurt yourself. First warm up, come lying on the back. We're going to do what's called stretch pose to warm up that navel strength. So lying flat on the back, you're going to lift your legs 6 inches off the ground, point at the toes, and begin the breath of fire. And if not breath of fire, long, deep breathing, and begin. Last little bit, do your best. Keep up. Almost there. Inhale, pull up on that root lock, and exhale down. Relax the breath, relax the lock. Just slide prone with long, deep breathing. Let that energy go where it needs to go with the breath, and just relax. Okay, so next warm up, we're gonna do a little cat-cow. So coming on to the hands and knees. We're gonna inhale up into cow pose, exhale down into cat. We're gonna do 26 nice, strong cat-cows, and begin. Inhale up into cow. Pull up on that root lock, squeeze energy up to the third eye point. And exhale, relax down into cat. And slowly just lower the forehead to baby pose. Hands go to the heels. And just relax there with long, deep breathing for a moment. Just getting comfortable in that position. Just relaxing the breath, relaxing the mind. And inhale and exhale. Okay, doing a little bit more lower body warm-up work here. So you can either support your legs by putting your hands underneath your hips or not. And we're gonna go ahead and do 26 leg lifts, make them nice and strong. Heels together, lift legs straight up to the ceiling. Lower them at your own pace, but try to keep the legs straight and begin. Inhale up, point the toes to the ceiling, straighten those legs, and slowly exhale down and release the legs and the breath. Inhale, exhale, and just relax, long, deep breathing. Just get comfortable there. Just a few more warm-ups before we get started with the Kriya. Okay, this next one, we're gonna go ahead and come up into a plank. So go ahead and put the hands underneath the shoulders. We're gonna try to lift the legs and make your body into a straight line. And we're gonna hold that for 1 minute. Do your best and begin. Relax the breath, relax the mind. And inhale. And exhale, lower the head down to the floor. Hands go to the heels. Just relax in the baby pose. Long, deep breathing. Just relax. Okay, we're going to do boat pose. So the way you do that, you're lying down on the ground, and you want to try to reach back, grab your ankles, do your best. And once you've got holy ankles, just get comfortable here. Then once you've activated the position, we're going to come up into a rounded circle bow, and we're going to do breath of fire for 1 minute. If you can't do that, do long, deep breathing. Focus at the third eye point, eyes closed down, and begin. Really arch up. And inhale, pull up, open up the box, squeeze up, and exhale, relax the breath, and you lock and your legs down. Head turns to one side, inhale, and exhale. Just relax the breath, long, deep breathing. Just get comfortable there. Lying prone for a moment. One more warm up. Activating that lower triangle. And inhale and exhale. Okay, last warm up. We're now going to do camel. So the way you do this, there's an alternate. So you can place the hands on the hips, lean back as far as you can. Try to get a good back bend. Ideally, you want to drop down, place your hands on the heels, and you want to arch back like that. And do breath of fire, if not long, deep breathing. And begin for 1 minute. More than halfway there. Almost there. Inhale, open that root block, squeeze. And exhale, relax the hips and the forehead to the floor in the baby pose. Inhale. And exhale completely, long, deep breathing. And just relax the breath. So we've done some good warm-ups. Just come lying on the back now for intermediate relaxation. Inhale completely. Exhale. And just relax the breath and let the energy you generated so far in these exercises go where it needs to go for healing or integration. and just be. And inhale and exhale. Awesome. So those were our warm-ups. You can go ahead and come sitting back up in the easy pose. And we're now going to move into the Kriya for the instinctual self. And so this Kriya, we've already started to do it. Really generates a lot of heat down here in the lower chakras and then moves it up. So we're going to start by putting the heels together. And you want to try to bring them into your groin. Go ahead and hug the toes to the best of your ability and try to keep the knees down flat like when you do butterflies. In fact, just kind of move the knees up and down in like a butterfly motion. Just get comfortable there. And then once you've got that activated, what we're going to do is we're going to start doing a spinal flex. We're going to inhale forward, exhale back, holding on to the toes. So it's like a spinal flex where you're moving the spine forward and back, but holding on to those toes and the knees push down. So that's the exercise to activate the root chakra. Let's begin. Eyes closed down, inhale forward, exhale back. If you need a mental focus as you're doing this, you can say the sound sat internally, which means truth on the inhale, and nam, which means identity on the exhale. Yoking your breath to the true identity on the inhale and exhale. That's if you want to have a mental focus. Otherwise, just keep concentrated at the third eye and on the breath. And inhale, root lock, sit up straight, focus at your third eye points. And exhale, relax the breath, release the ankles and the feet, shake them out a little bit. And just come back into easy pose, fingers in Gyan Mudra, wisdom position, inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Long, deep breathing, and just relax there for a moment. All right, inhale and exhale. You can lie now on the stomach. We're going to go ahead and inhale up into cobra. This is kind of like a cobra push-up. You're going to inhale up into cobra. You're going to exhale. Then you're going to inhale up into a plank, but your toes stay flat. And you exhale back into cobra. So that's the motion is inhale, exhale. So we won't start that yet. We're going to do it for a minute and a half. And inhale, exhale, and continue inhaling and exhaling down. Last bit, do your best. And inhale, cobra. And exhale, back into baby pose. Forehead on the floor. Long, deep breathing. Just relax there for a moment. And inhale. And exhale. Okay. So this next one is really an activator for the instinctual self. Really powerful tantric kriya. So we're going to come up into crow pose. Best way to do that, put the legs shoulder width apart. Come squatting down. Interlace the fingers around the knees, like you're squatting between the thighs. Close the eyes down. We're going to do that breath of fire. If you can't do breath of fire, just do long, deep breathing. And begin. Last little bit now. Really breathe. And inhale. Inhale deeper. Pull up that root block. Squeeze energy up the spine. Concentrate at the third eye point. And relax that lock in the breath. Inhale. And exhale. And gently release the legs. Shake them out a little bit. And then lying on the back. Inhale. Exhale completely. Long, deep breathing. Just get comfortable there. I'm going to grab a glass of water. Okay, so now we're gonna do some more leg lifts. So come lying on the back, hands underneath the hips. We're gonna do a count now, not a number. We're gonna do a minute and a half. Lifting the legs up to 90, exhaling them down. It's not how many you do, it's the quality. So try to maintain the control of the legs as they raise and lower. And let's begin. Do your best. Keep up. And inhale up. Point the toes. And then exhale, slowly lower the legs down to the floor. Release the hands. Inhale and exhale. And just relax there with long, deep breathing. Just be with the breath. Completely relax. And inhale and exhale. Okay, come lying on the stomach now. Just flip over. We're going to try to interlock our fingers behind the base of our spine. Put the heels together. What we're going to do is we're going to elevate the head and the legs off the ground. And in sometimes called locust pose, begin breath of fire or long, deep breathing. And begin. Last little bit now, do your best. Last bit. Inhale, stretch up, and relax down. Turn the head to one side. Release everything. Inhale, and exhale. Long, deep breathing. Doing some really good work. Really activating that wild, instinctual self down there in the lower triangle. Inhale, and exhale. This stuff will get you hot. It's navel heat, tapa, which is, as I mentioned before, not the Spanish appetizer. It's a tantric term that means discipline or psychic heat. And it's one of the foundations of yoga practice is you're generating inner heat. And that inner heat burns away the impurities of the body, mind, and spirit. The metaphor sometimes used is of clarifying ghee. So if you think butter has a lot of fat in it, when you apply heat, that fat burns away and it leads to a very clear, purified substance. That in essence is what yoga is doing. The mind, body, spirit gets gummed up with layers of clogged blockages, whether in the body, the energetic body, the mental, emotional body, subtle body, even the higher causal body can get blocked. And so yoga, in a lot of ways, is the ultimate unblocker through heat. So that's what we're doing here is we're generating a lot of psychic, energetic heat. So just continue to breathe. Relax the breath. Go ahead and come lying down on the back. Just relax there once again. Long, deep breathing. I think you're already on the back. So just long, deep breathing. Just be with the breath. and relax. We'll just relax for a minute. Just be. Minute and a half. Okay, so go ahead and wrap the hands around the knees now, and we're just getting rocking on the spine. It's just nice, easy, forward and back rock. Just continue, just like Humpty Dumpty. Just nice front and back rock. Just distributing the energy and just relax. And last few. And then come lying once again on the back. Now you've distributed the energy, just let it go where it needs to go. Long, deep breathing, just a few more exercises. Okay. So this next one, I'm going to explain it to you before we get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to be coming up into shoulder stand. So it's kind of hard to do this slow. I mean, one way you can do it is just kind of kick the hips up and hold your butt. So that's step one. You can get there. That's halfway. And then step two is going to be extending the legs vertically. Now, when we're in this position, we're going to do breath of fire. And if you can't do breath of fire, long, deep breathing, then after about a minute, we're going to lower our legs. I don't break the light as far as we can over our heads, continue breath of fire, and then slowly uncoil. So let me move the light so we can do that. So we're going to start in shoulder stand. We're going to do breath of fire for a minute. And we're going to lower the legs behind our heads for a minute with breath of fire and uncoil everything back to the floor. So a little bit challenging. Don't hurt yourselves. Let's start with that first part, which is shoulder stand, breath of fire. Now lower the hip length behind you. Last little bit now, do your best. And inhale and exhale, gently uncoil, lower the hips down, release the legs, the floor. And when you reach the floor, inhale and exhale. And completely relax, long, deep breathing. Another intermediate relaxation. Done some really good work. Only one more physical exercise. So go ahead and breathe long and deep. You earned it. And inhale and exhale. Awesome. All right, so go ahead now. We're going to come out of the relaxation posture and come up onto the knees. And there's going to be a modification for this in a moment. We're going to do Sat Kriya, but we're going to do it in celibate pose. So it sounds worse than it actually is. So Sat Kriya normally, and it's one of the quintessential exercises in Kundalini Yoga, is you take your fingers and you hug the ears and you say the sound Sat. And when you do that, you tighten that lower root lock, imagining a bolt of light shooting up through your Sushumna, your central channel, up through your fingers, yoking your entire being to creative source consciousness. It's a powerful alignment meditation with the source, however you conceive of it. And then you say Nam. You relax everything and you receive that grace. Nam means name. So Sat Nam means true name, true identity, or essential identity. And you're squeezing everything Sat, and you relax it all Nam. So it's a rhythmic contraction, projection, and release. So we're going to do all that for 3 minutes, but we're going to do it in celibate pose. So you're going to go ahead and spread the legs and try to sit between them. Some people can, some people can't, but the idea is to try. And in this position, we're going to do Sat Kriya for 3 minutes, and we're going to come out of it slowly. So get ready and get set. Let me set the timer first and begin. Sat, 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 sat. Inhale. Inhale deeper. Pull up in that root lock. Squeeze energy up the spine. Align your consciousness with infinity, vertical alignment. And exhale, relax the breath. Keep the arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale deeper. Squeeze up. Align vertically. And exhale, relax the breath and the lock and the hands sweep down gently towards the knees. Inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. Okay, we put some pressure on the knees, so gently walk your hands forward and slowly release the pressure on the knees. You might need to, I need to shake them out a little bit. Be nice to your knees. All right, that's it for the physical exercises. So go ahead and come lying down on the ground for our relaxation. Inhale, exhale completely. Completely relax the breath, relax the mind. Long, deep breathing. You've done a lot to activate your instinctual self, that lower triangle, that primal wild energy where the inner heat and the power Shakti, creative power lies. So just relax the breath, relax the mind. Long, deep breathing. Just be. And slowly begin to bring your minds back from the relaxation, twinkle the fingers and toes. Stretch your body all the way, full lengthwise. Begin to rotate the ankles and wrists in one direction and the other direction. And rubbing the hands and feet together. Bring the knee across the chest and gently cat stretch one way. Release the leg. And the other direction. And wrapping the hands around the knees, rocking on the spine. And come sitting up. Okay, we're going to do a little pranayama, breath work. We usually do some between the Kriya and the meditation to kind of calm and balance the mind. We generate a lot of energy. And now we kind of want to tone the mind down and tune it down, balance it before we go into a meditative practice. Taoism, they talk about Jing and Dong, stillness and motion. Motion and stillness, stillness and motion. So we're always kind of equilibrating these two forces to create that sort of intermediate force that blends the two together so that you're still while you're moving and you're moving while you're still, always balancing opposites. So for that, we're going to do alternate nostril breathing. So we're going to inhale with the left nostril, the lunar nostril, for a count of 4. We're going to internally count to 16, keeping the breath held in. Then we're going to exhale through the right nostril, solar nostril, to a count of 8. Then we're going to flip it. We're going to inhale to count of 4, hold for a count of 16, exhale for 8. So we'll do 3 on one side, 3 on the other for a total of 6. This balances the Ida and Pingala, which are the solar and lunar channels. And that balance of the sun and the moon within you creates an illuminated neutrality or balance of these two forces. That's really a third force. When you bring the sun and moon together, there's a third force, which includes but goes beyond them. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. Breathing through the left, 4, hold 16, out 8, inhale 4, hold 16, out 8, and begin. Release the hands, inhale. And pull open that root lock, concentrate at the third eye point. And exhale. Just relax and feel that neutrality and that balance of those channels. And inhale and exhale. Okay, so we're going to end with a really simple meditation for intuition. I know at the class I talked a lot about the primal instinctual self, and we've definitely activated it with this exercises we've done. Now we're going to focus at another center of intuition, which is the Ajna chakra, the third eye, right between the brow. And this is really sometimes called the command center. It's that part of your psyche that sees the unseen and knows the unknown behind the veil of appearances. It can discern what's really going on, regardless of whatever the shadows that are presented to you. So you're going to take your left hand and you're just going to hold it underneath your belly button as if you're just kind of cupping something. And you're going to take your Jupiter finger. This is Jupiter. You're just going to point it towards the heavens. And all you're going to do is hold a light brow focus. There's no mantra. There's just a light concentration there at the third eye point with a slow, relaxed, natural breath. And we're going to do that for 7 minutes. So eyes closed down softly, focusing at the third eye point, cupping the navel, finger towards the heavens, brow point focus, and begin. And inhale, reach the finger towards the heavens. Hold that breath in, extend as high as you can. Release the breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, inhale deeper. Reach up, pull up on that root lock, extend as high as you can. And release the breath and the lock with the hands float down gently towards the knees and Gyan Mudra. Inhale, exhale. Just relax the breath, relax the mind. Feel the activated instinctual self, the intuition of the third eye, inner vitality, long, deep breathing. And inhale and exhale. All right. Well, thanks for coming. We usually tune out with a song. So if you know it, join in. Otherwise, you'll learn it over time. So rubbing hands briskly. Place the knuckles in the center of the chest. Inhale, exhale, and inhale to begin. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on, guide your way on. Thanks for coming and see you next time.